All right, man. This is CONVO-19. My name is Keith Austin, and today I got Iggys Loudmouth podcast. Hi, Sean. How you
What's
doing,
up,
man?
man? What's up, bro?
Man, chilling, doing other episodes today, and I
Yeah,
was glad
busy
to,
man.
you
Busy
know,
man.
I was glad I was able to squeeze you in.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
I
Yeah, I
don't have
watched
many.
the.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I watched the debate this morning. Some of it, most of it actually.
All right. So for the people that don't know what he's talking about, right before this episode is when I filmed my debate with Georgie Sipping 40 and C Grind Me on the whole controversial 6ix9ine Snitch 9 debate.
Snitch nine.
Yeah. So far, I mean, from what I can tell, like literally just got done with it.
Yeah.
The response that I got back was pretty well. I kind of figured how it was going to end, to be honest. Everyone wasn't going to necessarily be on Georgie's side, and I think he knew that ahead of time. So I salute him for, I guess,
I think his
standing up for his
argument.
right. I guess.
Well, I think his argument was he's not alone in his feeling as far as like 6ix9ine being the artist that he is and able to captivate numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't agree with a lot of his points as far as like him being the biggest artist in the last 5 or 10 years. That's not true at all.
Definitely not. Definitely not in that time frame. I mean, I understand what he's talking about. He's definitely the most controversial artist we probably had in the past.
That's probably a better word. Controversial.
Yeah, and honestly, that might have been what he meant. It just didn't come out right.
Yeah, and if he says controversial, then yes. I don't.
But also,
argue. But we've never had a snitch wear it like a badge in hip hop before. So,
well, he's the only like real snitch we know of.
Yeah, that's on. Well, that's not. I mean, there's been some snitches that's on record. They just faded out because I mean, I know Alpha Mega snitched on T.I.'s crew. He got kicked out. He got kicked out the label. Who else got caught snitching? There's a couple other people.
There's a lot of rumors of other snitches.
And there's rumors, but I think people misinterpret what snitching is too. It's like because they'll say like, well, he gave a statement. Like I remember when T.I. he under the whole snitching umbrella because he did the commercial for community service and he made the statement when his bodyguard got shot and killed. Mm-hmm. But that's not like even when that was happening, I was like 14. I can't remember. I think it was like 13, 14. And I was like,
that's when he got out of jail, right? So that was
something like that because he got arrested at the Hip Hop Awards. So
that's been
it's been a while ago. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when that happened, I always was like, how is it snitching if he was getting shot at and his homie got killed and he just describing what happened? Like I don't understand how that is. He didn't say nobody's name. Mm-hmm. He didn't say nobody. He didn't say who. This where you can find these guys at. This is what they involved in. This is what I was involved in. Nothing. All he just said was, "This is what happened." You know what I memean? Like I don't understand. I've never understood. I mean, I ain't from the streets, so I don't know how deep the code goes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people that are from the streets, but I've never understood why that was considered like giving a statement of something that happened. Like if somebody came and broke in my house and tried to, kill me based off of some crazy shit, and I go tell the cops, yeah, this guy broke my window down, pulled a 9, tried to kill me. I don't say no names or nothing like that. How is that snitching? Like, that shit. I mean,
that's why the whole no snitching thing is such a very fraud system.
Yeah,
because they don't clear it up. Basically, they just say, "Look, I'm not going to say a word to the police. I'm not going to say a word to the cops. Fuck them." And that's kind of where there's so many blurred lines in there because, like you said, if someone broke into your house and tried to kill you, why wouldn't you
leave a statement on that?
Yeah, I mean,
especially if I'm not now. The street is where like I'm not gonna help the cops because I got my own way of paying them niggas, and that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna tell the cops because we gonna roll up on him and we gonna take care of it ourselves. Okay, but if I'm not really from the streets and I have no plans on, like I have no real legitimate plans on paying them back, like I'm just not able to do that, and I'm not willing to risk my life for that, then why would not giving a statement to the police of what happened? Why would that be considered snitching? That makes no sense. I mean, that's what they're there for.
I mean, yeah, that is the. I don't know. You're right. But I said it's just such a fraud system, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a super great area, but I think with 6ix9ine or Snitch 9, is that he not only did he snitched on like what they did to him, but he was actually involved in the shit on top of the fact that like Grimy was saying, like he was snitching on people that wasn't even involved in the fucking case. It turned into like a circus, you know what I'm saying, of him just telling names and trying to get out of his time.
I mean, the meme's there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't So you can't come when you out of jail, come on live and try to validate why you snitch, because you just didn't snitch on those guys. You was telling on every motherfucking thing. You on camera putting the hit out. You on camera doing this shit. They got you in a statement with them doing some of the shit they was doing. You know what I'm saying? So the fans already knew what the fuck was up. Like what homie said. Like they already knew. Anytime the fans coming to you and they pretty much got it. They just need you to speak on it to certify the case. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
there's a reason why it took so long to actually arrest him. They were wanting to wait until they had
proof. Yeah, they got to build the case. Yeah, they got to build the case.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I'm not trying to talk about 6ix9ine again because
of course not. We just revamping that.
Yeah, and I know you said off mic that you said you wanted to kind of talk about it on your platform.
I kind of already did talk. I mean, I don't really want to talk about him that much. I talked about it with it's another podcast called DSC Podcast. And we did a live last weekend, and it had just happened where he went on live like the day before. So we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about him, but that's about it. I mean, we ain't got to talk about him that much more. I don't listen to his shit. I don't pay attention. So,
all right. So let's talk about your podcast. So what's Iggys Loudmouth? What is that?
So Iggys, Loudmouth comes from kind of like a crew of mine. Like we were a crew in the military, and like some of my homies, and we always kind of rode deep. We always like speak our minds, kind of like we always are the loud ones. We always are the ones that like cultivate people. And so early on, when I first got back from the military, I hit those guys up. I was like, hey, listen, like, you know, I'm thinking about starting a blog. I like the name Loudmouth. Like, I don't necessarily want to take it from everybody. And what should I do? Like, I want to keep it, but I also want to like make sure that I'm not trying to like be the umbrella of it. I know everybody's a part of this. And one of the friends who we since fell out, funny enough, but he was like, why don't you just name it Iggys Loudmouth Blog or something like that? So, or like, you know, because at the time my rap name was Iggy Shine. So he's like, why don't you just name it something like that? And so years passed, like, you know, a year or two passed. And I've always like said stuff on Facebook or like in person or at a show or something like that, and always gotten people attention. A lot of times it's not even on purpose. Like I'll say stuff, nobody even thinks nothing of it, and then I'll come back and my notifications are blown up from like 30, 40 people arguing in my comment section. And so like since I was in high school, people have always said like, you need to start something, like you need to start a blog, you need to start something like that. So me and Slade did a show on Midnight Puff probably about it was a year ago now, a little over a year now, when we dropped the Double Trouble, and I was on the bus, and we was just doing a listening party, and I just was on the mic, and I was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Like I just been kind of vibing to that idea, and there was a whole bus of people. Most of them I had never met before. I rarely, you know, talked to maybe once, if at all. And everybody on there was like, yo, do that shit. And so I was like, okay. So that kind of like sparked it, because there was some people that didn't even know me, that was like, hey, yeah, you should go for it. So me and Manny met up after the show and kind of kicked it off with the bus interviews, and we've gone from there to here. So
how's the podcast been going ever since quarantine's been going on, though?
Well, obviously, I was really heating up with the live podcast. I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah. So like once a month, I was doing live sessions where people would come and have a live audience, get drinks, and then I would have guests on, and we'd do the live recording. So that stopped. I'm trying to figure out how to pick that back up. We might move it to outside. I have three elements to the show. I have like the part where, live. I have the part where I sit down with like local artists and stuff, and we kind of talk about them and what's going on locally. And then I have my mini episodes. It's like just me going on random rants.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing those, just the mini rants and stuff, keeping up the content on that. But yeah, the next move is picking back up on the lives.
I know now things are kind of slowly opening back up, and
Mm-hmm.
you can start having crowds again. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be limited, which I think for a podcast, that's probably
It's
better.
not bad. Yeah, it was already not that many people at the live ones. More than 20, 25. It really
That's
wasn't that,
honestly
which is
much.
great. Which
Yeah.
is great. Yeah, that's not even like, you know what I mean? Like that's a little much for recording, but I mean, even still, like that's what I want. Like that's just the type of element that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it actually fits right into what I'm doing. I just got to figure out how to maintain social distancing, make people feel safe doing it.
I feel it. I mean, I know that, like I said, Tennessee passed a bill, I think it was Friday actually, where they are lifting the ban of like restriction of like restaurants and bigger, I guess, venues, kind of like movie theaters and stuff. So it's definitely possible. So,
hey, what's your thought on the idea that movie theaters are one of the last things to open? Cause I always felt like if you're gonna like maintain social distancing, movie theaters could do that realistically. You can only like if you only sold 20 tickets or 25 tickets to this movie, yeah, it's cool. That doesn't take away from the fact that you're releasing it digitally. Like they still can do all of that, but if you want to keep it in the movie theater element, you could only sell like 30, 40 tickets. Yeah. Make sure that those seats are placed within certain, like they're not next to each other, and continue to do it versus like a restaurant where they have to. It's hard to space out those tables, or barbershops. Like you can't be 6 feet away when you cutting hair. Like it's impossible. Yeah. Or like even Walmart, and like that's all that shit's been open this whole time. It's harder to maintain social distancing in those areas than it is at a park or at like, you know what I mean? At like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, my whole argument with the whole Walmart and Lowe's being open and everything, I understand the reasoning, I guess.
Oh, I know why it's still open. I'm just saying the ideas of it.
Like I said, I understand the reasoning and the idea of it, of course. But when you talk about movie theaters, I don't know. I cannot think of the name of the movie theater. It's okay. If you're in Chattanooga, it's closer to Hamilton Place. It's I don't know if it's AMC now. It's the one by
Regal. See, you talking about the Regal?
Maybe it's the one that has the bar in it.
I think that's Regal.
Yeah. Well, the way they do it is you buy a seat. You don't buy a ticket. You buy an actual seat. So if movie theaters went in that route, and where you'd be like, hey, you can only if you want a ticket, you have to sit here, and they do like 2 or 3 seats in between somebody. I mean, realistically, that could work. But also, I think the like movie theaters are such a I don't want to say an old method.
I agree.
Because it kind of sounds ridiculous, but how many movies do you go to in a year? If you had to guess.
Well, we did used to go quite a bit, but that was before Zion. That was 2015. That was probably toward the end of when people stopped.
I mean, that's fine because like 2015 and like even like this year, or better yet, last year, because last year was more of a normal life for us.
Yeah. So last year is starting to start. I think that's why Netflix, and I've been saying they're going to take over the movie thing. As soon as they open up with feature films with Netflix, they're going to take over because it's already started fading out where people are they're getting on the Fire Stick, or they wait until it comes on Amazon Prime and shit like that, versus having to go pay $20-$25 for popcorn, $20-$25 for 3D.
I mean, yeah.
And actually spacing out that time during your day to go to a movie when you could just wait at home and watch it at 9 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? 10 o'clock at night and just be home. You know what I mean? Don't have to go nowhere.
Yeah, not to mention, and there's nothing more infuriating than going out to a movie, spending all that money, and not liking the movie.
That shit be trash, I know.
Yeah, especially if it's a movie you're already kind of iffy about. That's one thing. But if you had high expectations, it's even worse, man. I can imagine movie theaters just kind of dying out completely.
I think this is kind of their cop-out, honestly. AMC, I think this is kind of their cop-out because they already saying that they might not come back AMC. And I was like, I feel like they was already losing money.
If they were
now
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying now that they could actually use this as an excuse to buy them out,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna use it. You know what I'm saying?
For real. I think if they were smart, and I don't know what all goes into this, but imagine if movie theaters didn't necessarily go away, like the company survived, and let's say that instead of doing theaters, they partnered up with like a Netflix or a Hulu, or even like an HBO Max, and be like, "Hey, all of our new movies are going to be on this streaming site for a limited time."
I think that's a good. I actually thought about it. I was like, why did AMC or like Universal Pictures they have Fast and Furious and like all them shits. If they had an app, Universal Studios app, where Fast and Furious was only available on this app, you pay $10 a month, and it's only available on this app for a month, right? This is the only place you can watch it when it's released, or 2 months, or whatever. And then wait months, and then now it come out on Netflix. I think people would be more inclined to go that route, because then you're getting like consistent movies, but it's located to that app. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the issue. Yeah, I think the issue with that is like I don't think there needs to be another streaming site, in my opinion, because there's already so many that people already kind of are in this like weird space of like, okay, if I have Netflix and Hulu, do I really need Disney Plus?
Yeah.
So they kind of start weighing it out, and they start getting rid of one. I'm saying if they partnered with an already established one, and that way
those companies don't want to partner though. That's the problem. They want it all.
I mean, I understand that reasoning, but I just think if you look at it from like a consumer's point of view, it would make more sense than,
of course,
for me to take a chance of getting a Universal Studios streaming app and maybe only liking a majority, or not even a majority, a less than a majority of the movies.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
And not to mention, say if Universal Studios did open some sort of streaming site or whatever, is that how you said that makes Fast and Furious?
I think so. They make a few other ones too that's like people know.
All right, so say that if they did that, would their old movies be on there too?
I would think that they should put all their old movies on there, and they can watch it anytime. But see, that'll start pulling it from Netflix.
Yeah, that's my point.
And I think that's kind of like where we are a little bit, because Disney started. I mean, they haven't pulled everything off Netflix, but most of all of their stuff is off Netflix now. And
yeah, I think they were slowly doing it.
Yeah, and so like that's what I'm saying. If Universal Studios and like Warner Brothers and all them started making their own shit, and then it would pull it off Netflix, that would like hurt them. But then you're right. As a consumer, realistically, as a business, you got to think, okay, how many people are actually going to use this app instead of versus going to a one that has everything, or just wait until it comes on TV or Hulu or whatever.
Exactly, because I don't even have cable anymore.
Yeah,
I got rid of cable a while ago, and I'm only doing streaming sites. So I have like Netflix and Hulu, and I have Amazon Prime, not because of the service, just because of other stuff that Amazon Prime comes with.
Yeah,
something on there that I actually watch.
The only thing I watch on the Amazon. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, my point was I was saying is I think I kind of got lost on what I was trying to say, but the point of me having like all these streaming sites is so back when I did have cable, I was scrolling through channels, and then say if I'm like on TBS or CBS or whatever, they all advertise they have their own app now. If you pay so much, you can watch their TV shows. I'm like, okay, if I buy CBS or TBS, whatever it is, am I just going to watch like, I don't fucking know, Big Bang Theory all day? What else do they got? Yeah. So I don't see the point of me having and paying so much just to watch whatever shows they make.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing I watch on Amazon Prime is The Boys, and I heard Jack Ryan is good too, but I don't know if you watched The Boys yet, but that shit is fucking fire, bro.
I have not watched a single thing on Amazon Prime. I only have it because I have Amazon Prime for shipping stuff.
Yeah.
I'll check it out though, because I'm always in the looking.
Check it out. Shows. It's dope. It's about superheroes, but they're under the corporate umbrella a little bit.
Okay.
And so they're like fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not superhero. They have superhero powers, but they don't have the quality of superheroes. Like, they do a lot of fucked up shit.
Okay.
And so it's really good.
All right, I'll check it out for sure. But kind of end the whole topic of movie theaters. I kind of think they'll just die out. It's kind of like how like CDs are now without music. Yeah. We just all have streaming, so there's no point in making physical copies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
I
even
mean,
buy it on iTunes no more. I don't.
some people do. I know every now and then I know people who just like to buy music. Like if you're a fan of like the Joe Budden podcast, he's like real big into saying I bought this song or I bought this person's art. Some people actually feel that way, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for anyone who wants to buy music. I just think it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, if you buy it, I mean, you could buy it and stream it. There'd be no point doing that. But if you buy it, the price of it stops. Where streaming, you can stream it forever and add it to them. You get what I'm saying? Like if I go back and stream, which I don't know how to like, whoever's got their say Nipsey 10 years from now, he still got his masters, right? I'm still playing Victory Lap. Like if I bought that album, that's the only way I play it is the way I bought it. Then he's not getting anything for that. He already got what he got. Whereas versus if I'm playing Victory Lap off Tidal 10 years from now, if it's still around, he's still getting revenue off of me playing it. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's where I'm kind of like, you actually end up helping them. I know if you got your masters and got your paperwork right for streaming, you can win off that shit.
Well, I think buying music is more profitable up front than
it is
more long term.
It's not long term. That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it. I don't doubt anyone, I'm not down on anyone that buys music.
Yeah, me either. No, me either. Last album I bought was
what was last one?
Good Kid, Mad City, maybe. Physical. That might have been my last physical album I bought.
I'm trying to think. So, I live in Hickson, and in Northgate Mall, they used to have the store called FYE.
I remember FYE.
Yeah. So when they were going out of business, they were selling all their CDs like super cheap. Yeah. So I think that was the last time I bought a physical album. I remember I bought Under Pressure by Logic.
Okay, good purchase.
And whatever Wiz Khalifa album was at that time. I think it was his third album. I cannot think of the name of it.
Whose album?
Wiz Khalifa's.
His third album wasn't
I cannot for the life of me think
the
of
first one was Rolling Papers. The second one was the one he only in first class.
It's the abbreviation.
So that was the second one then. He had the first coat on and he had the white. Yeah. That was the second.
Wiz Khalifa discography.
Only N-word in first class. That's what it was.
Yeah. It was Black Hollywood. That's what it was.
Black Hollywood. Yeah, that's okay. You're right. That's the third one.
And I think I bought a third one. I didn't know which one it was, but I think that was the last time I actually bought CDs, and that was like 2015, 14.
Yeah, 15. I bought Under Pressure on iTunes. I didn't buy a physical.
I don't remember what it was. I think I was just kind of scrolling through and just seeing what they had that I was kind of interested in, and I kind of just bought it all because it was all like super cheap. I miss
FYE, man.
Yeah, I do too. Because they sell so much other stuff besides music.
Yeah, they sell a lot of like clothes, shirts, and like anime DVDs, the wrestling collection. I remember they had the wrestling collection DVDs over there. That shit was hard as hell.
Yeah, I used to go in there just look around when I was younger. I remember that shit. I do kind of miss buying CDs though.
Me too. Only vinyls are taking over though now. I'm starting to get.
Yeah, but not the same way. It's more of a collector's item.
It's a collector's thing for sure.
I know. Okay, so you know Trey Yates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to his house one time. This is about a couple years ago, and he was so happy that he got this vinyl for like his birthday. It was I think it was Damn actually.
That is I had that vinyl,
but it was an autographed.
I had the autograph one too. I think they only released 50 of those, and a patient of mine bought it for me because he knew I was a Kendrick fan. Mm-hmm. And so he brought. I guess he was like, my doctor was leaving, so he like brought me. He's like, yeah, I got a gift, and he brought it to me. I was like, dude, what the fuck? There was only like 50 of those that got released. I think those of the signed ones. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why he was happy as hell.
He was happy, but he was also kind of upset because it was an autographed vinyl by Kendrick Lamar. And he showed me the signature, and it's just a K, like nothing crazy. And I'm like, I was like, man, I've been so pissed I paid so much for that. But then I started to think of it like, see, I didn't know there was 50. I didn't know how many there was. And I was thinking,
I think there's only 50. I think it might have been a little more than that. But
well, I guess 50 is still a decent number. But imagine having to sign your autograph on so many things.
On 200,
yeah. I can imagine it's like, okay, whatever.
He signed. So I met Kendrick Lamar in 2000 when the Good Kid, Mad City first came out at Luxembourg show in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I got on stage with him and everything.
That's
Went
fun.
backstage with him. So he signed a towel for me, and his signature is not really. I mean, it's not. It was K scribble scribble Lamar scribble scribble. So it wasn't like.
I mean, that's everyone's signature, honestly.
So it's not like. I mean, I went tripping. I already knew like it wasn't. And the Wale side I had him on before, and it was like the same shit. It wasn't
for real.
no crazy. Yeah, it wasn't no crazy shit. So.
I know. Trying to think. When he showed me that, I thought that was very. Like I said, I understood it when I really thought about it, but I can only imagine paying so much for autographed vinyl, and it's just a K. But I don't know. Stop, man. Yeah, if you hear the noise, ignore it. It's just my dog barking and everybody walking in. You're good,
That's
dude.
cool, man.
What's up, man? We're just talking about, music. You can't buy it no more.
Can't buy it anymore?
Well, you can buy it, but it's pointless. Also, my roommate walked in. I'm talking to him, too, at the same time.
No, you're good. No pressure.
Hold on. Let me pause this real quick.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're talking about vinyls and buying music and Kendrick Lamar. So you said you met Kendrick and Wale?
Yeah, I got. You said when I got my hat signed.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah, I got my hat signed by Wale.
All right. Where'd you meet Wale at?
That was what show was that? Fuck. It might have been Nashville show, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Either Nashville or Atlanta, somewhere close. And I was in college at the time, and that was when Attention Deficit came out. That's still my favorite Wale album. Okay. And that was before he wasn't with Maybach Music yet. He was just now Rockefeller, Rock Nation, and that was before. Because now Wale is like this polarizing figure where it's like he don't feel like he get his due, and he a little standoffish, and like. You know what I mean? Like how he is now is like he's like his little awkward socially. Where then he wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when after the show he stayed after the autographs, he decked everybody up. Not saying he don't do that now, but I feel like now the Wale people see now is like
he's kind of a meme.
Yeah, he kind of got like a big chip on his shoulder. Where back then he didn't really have that big ass chip on his shoulder as much. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think he kind of expected a little too much out of his career. And I mean, saying if I was in his position, I'd probably feel the same way.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think he kind of did it to himself in multiple ways. I think one, he should not that Rock Nation was a good because he's managed by them now. He's not under them no more. But I feel like that element and label is the way he should have went. When he went to Maybach Music, I always felt like that wasn't a good fit for him because at the time Meek was up, Rick Ross. All of that is like luxury rap, street rap music where like Wale's not a street rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's more like poetic. He's more about the lyrics. He's more about all of that. So I feel like that feel Ross didn't know how to like prop that up at the time. You know what I'm saying? And so like, it was kind of like that's why I feel like he got some of the most slept on albums because people don't really I don't know. They just when they hear him underneath that Maybach label, they're thinking that they're going to get a certain thing that they're not.
Maybe early on, because I agree with you on the fact that I don't think Maybach Music was the right fit for him. Mm-hmm. But I do think that I don't believe he would have been as big anywhere else. Because Maybach Music was so big in 2011.
Yeah, that's true. They were big.
That was like the only like realistic label that could fight against like Young Money at the time.
Good music was popping in too.
Yeah, I'm saying they actually had good music, good artists. Like Meek Mill had such a big mixtape with Dream Chasers 2, and that was such a big thing for Maybach Music. And then they were actually doing compilation albums that actually sounded good.
Yeah, I think it was Young. I think it was Young Money, Maybach Music, good music with Kanye, Pusha T, Big Sean. They was on the bubbling. And that was the three big labels at the time.
I remember back when the MTV Music Awards was kind of a bigger thing than it is now. They used to do this award every year where it said who is the most popular like record label or like record group or whatever. And it was always like Young Money, Good Music, Maybach. There was always a fourth. Yeah. I cannot think of who the fourth is. I don't know if it was what Wiz was doing at the time or like Odd Future. They always threw in someone.
Yeah, it was somebody, but it wasn't the same. It was basically those three for the longest.
Yeah, there was a fourth one that used to always get brought up in that conversation, but I cannot think of.
Yeah, it's not TDE because TDE didn't start going into 2012, 13.
Yeah, I mean, now TDE would probably be in the top conversation for that.
Oh, yeah.
If not QC, probably.
Yeah, QC. I say TDE to QC probably, and Dreamville. Those are the top three.
Yeah, but I think if we came down to a vote, honestly, I think QC would probably win it.
Yeah, QC would win as a totality for sure.
Mm-hmm. Only because, like, not saying that TDE is not as popular, because they definitely are. It's just the artists that QC brings, and I guess what their
QC got more artists for one, and they also have more hits with their artists. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like TDE is they're cultish a little bit. I mean, they got Schoolboy, Kendrick are now huge, but Ab-Soul is still kind of a cult guy. Mm-hmm. J-Rock he's mainstream huge now, but Isaiah Rashad, he's still kind of a cult guy still. Scissors
very cult. Very cult.
So they're very like they got a little bit of both. QC is like strictly they all mainstream hits, most of them.
And that's why Dreamville's not in the conversation, in my opinion, because Dreamville does exactly what TD. Yeah, they're all cult for the most part. I mean, you've got J. Cole, and if I had to pick another artist that I feel like has like a bigger presence, I may have to pick what's his name?
JID.
Probably JID.
Yeah, he's the only other one.
I mean, I know that for a while that is it Boss or Bass? Is how you say
it? Yeah, Boss.
He was always kind of in the conversation, but I think just because it was J. Cole features.
I fuck with Boss. His projects are flawless, even without J. Cole. I just think he just for some reason, man, he just ain't really escaped the J. Cole shadow a little bit.
Well, that's also
JID has.
Well, I think it's because Boss and like J. Cole have like a very similar sound in a way.
Yeah.
With JID, when you hear him, he just stands out so much.
Yeah, he stands out.
For a good example is like, the JID song with J. Cole on his new album. Mm-hmm. J. Cole sounds like JID.
Yeah, that's true.
Where the other way around, don't really happen.
That's true.
That.
That's true. You're right.
But that's also an issue when you sign with an artist that popular.
Yeah,
you kind of get overshadowed.
You're gonna get under that umbrella.
Yeah, not everyone gets that Lil Wayne Drake effect, if that makes sense. Where you end up overshadowing.
Drake was already on a trajectory, honestly, and Young Money caught him at the hot moment because he was already not to say that he might have been as big without Young Money, maybe not. We'll never know, but I think
probably not. But
yeah, probably not. I think Young Money helped him, but I think the trajectory was already there. You know what I'm saying? Just because he already was a singer, rap. I mean, his sound was just already
what it was going to be.
Yeah, it was going to be, and he was already going to stand out because of that. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I mean, if you listen to old interviews, or I think even recently when like So Far Gone did this like 10-year re-release on Spotify and everything, they were talking about it, and even in old songs where Lil Wayne called him up and said we need to do a mixtape.
Yeah.
And they made So Far Gone, so that's why I think Young Money has a real big effect.
Oh yeah, they do for sure.
So, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint. At one point in Drake's career, he became Drake. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint. It's just kind of. I just can't believe.
Take care, I guess. But
I remember when Best I Ever Had was literally playing everywhere, and I kid you, I remember when So Far Gone came out because I was big on mixtapes at the time. That Piff was the place to be. Their live mixtapes.
Yeah.
And so I remember when it dropped. I remember hearing it. I was like, "Yo, this is totally different." And I remember going to Morehouse homecoming that year because two of my homies went to Morehouse. So I was in the heart of Atlanta for that homecoming, and that is all you heard was Drake. And I remember telling my homies, like, "Bro, he's on. Like this. If you got Atlanta like this, you on, bro. You gonna take off." And ever since then, he ain't looked back.
Yeah, I think. I definitely heard Best I Ever Had first, and then I heard So Far Gone the mixtape. I kind of went back and checked it out, which I remember it was so funny that like the first So Far Gone I ever heard was the one that came out for Grammys. The one that only has like 6 songs on it, and I was like, I mean, it's good. Yeah, I'm like, it's good, but it's not that great. And then like later on, someone actually gave me the real link of like all the songs, and I was like, man, he put out I mean, I understand the 6 songs that were on the Grammy release version of So Far Gone. Probably like the cult favorites.
Yeah.
But man, he had so much songs on there.
Yeah,
And I was like, man,
the mixtape that should have been the album. I mean, but at that time, and I don't know who I was talking to about this recently, but at that time, it's hard to. That's what I'm saying. Hip hop is like a very unique thing to judge. Because I think during that time, when we had the mixtape era, like a lot of mixtapes were better than albums, a lot. And that was because labels were like making you have a certain sound, and mixtapes was the avenue that, okay, well, I can just release this for free. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily have to get samples cleared. I don't necessarily.
I actually have the answer on why. I actually have the answer on why things are like the way they were. But go ahead.
Well, what I'm saying, like, just looking at the hip hop lens as far as like how you judge projects, because when you say, well, these guys what's Wiz's top albums, like, well, his albums don't see his mixtapes, because if you go see his mixtapes like Flight School, Cushion Orange Juice, Taylor Alderdice, Star Power, bro, they killing his albums. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, how do we judge these guys now from 2008, 2007 up until now? A lot of their projects, like Meet Dream Chasers 2, like you said, that's one of his top 3 projects. That's a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, his top project, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, in your opinion? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. It's up there. You know what I'm saying? And like, same with Rick Ross. He's got some albums that's great, but Rich Forever is probably a lot of people's favorite project for him. That was
top
a mixtape.
It's top 3.
Yeah.
I would say that. But also at that time when Rick Ross put that out, he knew how popular mixtapes were. So I think he did that for a reason. Yeah. For being honest. But on their whole, how labels of the hip hop, they were so outdated.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted that. I'm only going to use this example because of the battle that happened yesterday with Ludacris and Nelly.
Yeah.
They wanted that like Nelly-ish like sound. I'm not saying that they wanted everyone to sound like Nelly. I'm saying they wanted this like clear like pop rap sound. They wanted like these songs with like rap verses and some girl singing a hook. Yeah. And then they wanted these singers to have a rap verse at the very end and the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wanted. And that's why, and like when it came to mixtapes, you didn't have to worry about clearing samples. Mm-hmm. You could go whenever you wanted to. You could went the Lil Wayne route and just jumped on all these beats. Mm-hmm. You had so much free, room to go with. And then depending on, like when the Meek Mill situation, he put out Dream Chasers 2, and the song with Drake and Jeremiah was the one that kind of popped off. Mm-hmm. So he made that the single for his album. And that's kind of what people did mixtapes for. They were like, okay, what songs do people like? Yeah,
and then I can tag it and write it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they wanted like a distinct cut of, you're right, like early 2000s going into the mid 2000s, people were looking for that softer rap or like that easy to play on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's formulaic. Like, okay, we got intro of just like the beat building up, hook, verse, hook, verse, hook, maybe a bridge. If not a bridge, third verse, depending on what time this was.
Yeah, exactly.
And they wanted that to be like some girl singing or some guy singing. And that's why that music, during a certain time, and people put so much work in these albums, they kind of flop.
Yeah.
Every now and then you kind of see that still happen today, but there's not really a formula anymore.
No, because you could. That's what I'm saying. I was arguing. That's what I think we were talking about, the Drake shit. And I was talking about how he just dropped the mixtape and went number 2, and everybody said that was a fall off. I don't know how the fuck that's a fall off. But anyways, now there's no mixtape. Like, you don't even go on that Piff no more. I mean, some people do. They put their shit up on there, but
I actually went on there yesterday, and I went on there yesterday because I was looking for Dream Chasers 2 actually.
I was looking for Gucci tape the other day. I went on there, but yeah, you don't really. That's, people could just release it on stream sites and just get streams. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't necessarily, as long as you get the shit clear that you're supposed to. Yeah. And if you don't, then you just take it off and put something else on there. Yeah. But if it's cleared, then you can just release it on the stream site. You don't even have to worry about it.
Not to mention, if the song does so well on a mixtape and people want to hear it, your label will go further into clearing that sample.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's probably what some people did. Mm-hmm. Because I know who was it? I think it was. I think Fabulous had such a
he was having
tough time clearing samples.
Yeah,
and that's why his mixtape did so well in that time period.
That's true. Yes, that's when Soul Tape started dropping.
Yeah, because he couldn't clear none of the samples.
So who you think won the battle yesterday, man?
I was kind of in and out of it. I know at the very beginning I saw where Nelly had a bunch of Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah.
So I kind of went in and out of it a lot. But beforehand, I was like, I think Nelly's going to win, personally.
Yeah.
Only because, I mean, I know there's a lot of, like, cult classics in Ludacris's career.
Yeah.
But I say depending on what that song is. And I have such an issue with the versus battles with the way they're set up that if I'm going second, I'm going to win every round.
You think so?
Okay. So imagine if, let's say Ludacris and Nelly are going right now. And Ludacris like, okay, cool. I'm going to put out, I'm trying to think of a smaller, okay, One More Drink with him and T-Pain.
Yeah.
It's a kind of popular song, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
If Nelly's like, okay, cool, I'm going to put out Hot in Here.
Yeah.
Nelly's going to win automatically.
Yeah.
He just got to base it off what the first person's playing.
Nelly was not doing that. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of went in there and saw a little bit of it.
He was not formatting. And that's what I was telling my wife, because she was saying the same thing. And I was saying, like, well, she didn't really listen. I listened to most of it. Mm-hmm. And it's all about how you format the songs. I think Nelly would have been more competitive. I think Ludacris won, by the way. But I think it would have been more competitive if you format the songs right. Because Ludacris was going first. I think they flip-flop. So after like a certain amount of time, they start switching. And Nelly
well, that's my main argument. They need to do that. Or
yeah,
either that or they need to have someone like also there with them and be like, okay, go ahead and put your song in. And be like, okay, go. And then you cannot change it.
Yeah. I think that's but that's what I've understood. The last couple ones I watched is that they flip-flop. Somebody go first. And then, like, halfway through, then it'll switch up. And second person will go first. That way it'll make it even.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think it's all about – because Nelly's got the same amount of hits as Lou, if not more. But he didn't play them right. Honestly. Yeah, he like, Ludacris would put up Saturday, which is a hit which people forget about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of that plays into it. Because for me personally, I'll forget it. Like, I forgot that he was spazzing on the Nas Made You Look remix. He threw that in there. You know what I'm saying? And you like, oh, shit, I forgot about this. So that boosted even more. So if you throw on some, like, your seventh song of country grammar that nobody really even listened to, after that, you're going to lose that round. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to figure out how to format your songs. If you put out some song that people barely even knew, then that's the time that you throw out your hit. Or if he put on Saturday, then that's how you throw out Hot in Here. You throw out Shake Your Tail Feather. Like, that's where you throw that out. You know what I'm saying? Well, don't throw out no.
Well, I also said, depending on what Ludacris song that he put on first, depending on what it was, I wasn't even going to waste a good record. I was like, okay, I'm going to put something out.
Man, Nelly played Tip Drill like the first or second song. He played it too early.
Well, I think Tip Drill is a good point to get early on because Nelly has so many hits.
I think he should have started out with that hit. He probably should have did Dilemma a little earlier with Kelly Rowland. Like, he should have did that because that was when people started getting into. They starting to listen. They starting to get into the live. So a lot of people coming in halfway through. It's already 300,000 people, and they start to get up to 400,000. When people start to get in, and that's the songs they asking for. Tip Drill.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start big.
Yeah,
you don't gotta do like Country Grandma and Fantasy first round.
Yeah.
But you can throw in like a big hit that. Okay, so say if Nelly started with like I don't know Air Force Ones.
Yeah,
a big record, but he definitely has bigger ones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Air Force One's a big record for him, though.
It is a big record, but I'm talking about so the way the battles are kind of structured, it kind of goes from sometimes commercial success and also like how big that record was in certain areas.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because if you watch like the T-Pain and like Lil Jon battle, T-Pain had the bigger records.
Yeah, T-Pain had the bigger records. Yeah, he did.
I'm not saying bigger. He had the better records.
Better, yeah.
And then, but some of Lil Jon's catalog, which by the way, I think that was an awful battle to begin with. Because
that was not a good match.
I understood having like.
I understood why they matched.
Yeah,
I understand why they matched, but
because they changed the game when they came out, and it was like two game changers. I understood that, but it's just not a good setup. Like, who wants this R&B sometimes dabbles in the rapping, but none of his like big hits were like rap against this producer who invented crunk.
Yeah.
If you're in a crowded situation, I'm going to pick crunk every time.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Scott Storch. I was talking to Chris Breezy about this. Was that last week?
Yeah.
And we was just chopping it up. And he was telling me, we were talking about the Manny Fresh and the Scott Storch battle. And I was saying, like, I watched that whole battle too. And I was saying, like, Scott Storch, it wasn't fair for Manny because Manny Fresh built a label, but his sound is distinct to that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Scott Storch is like, he has a hand in everything. He got Justin Timberlake. He got Sierra. He got Beyonce. So it's a lot of different, like, and then he got like Kodak Black. Like, he got a lot of different ways he can go. Whereas Manny Fresh, he's got songs with T.I., he's got songs with UGK, but for the most, and even with those are still Southern bred tracks. You know what I'm saying? So most of them are going to stay within that realm. Where Scott Storch can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He can pull from here, he can pull from there. And that's not, everybody's going to be like, damn, Scott Storch is more versatile. Well, but I mean.
Compared to Manny Fresh.
Compared to Manny, yes, because Manny was building a label. He literally built Juvenile, built early on Wayne, and built, you know what I'm saying, that label. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of, you can't really, depends on what you're listening for. If you respect that and respect him being the sole producer for like 5 or 6 different artists, versus Scott Storch, who's got a team of producers and was part of a team. And on top of that, he's been able to do mainstream everything. You know, that battle is going to be a little slighted.
Who's a good dream battle for versus in the future? Who do you think? I got a couple in my head that I think could work, but I'm not sure. Of course, there are the big ones like, like Dr. Dre and Diddy. Those are the ones people want to see.
I think Drake gonna smack that. If we're being honest, I think if we talking new school,
I'm kind of going everywhere because most of mine are probably in the 2000s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who I want to hear from old school and new school. So old school, I would like to hear either T.I. versus Jeezy.
Okay.
Or let me think on that. Who's another Louisiana we could do?
Louisiana?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Louisiana one.
Well, you got
Master P.
You got Master P.
Boosie and Webby would be good, but they beefing.
Well, I think they have a lot of records together, and I think that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, that is unfair. That's true. But new school, I mean, everybody keep talking about Drake and Jay-Z, but I like to see Drake and Wayne go against each other.
Yeah, but I kind of the same bet. They have some records together. They don't have a lot.
They don't have a lot. They have a quite a bit, but they could also do it to where they don't have any, and they can still do it.
I think Drake and Chris Brown.
Yeah,
those are two, because even though they're kind of in different realms, they do collide a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That could work.
That's a good one.
I think if you do like Usher and Akon.
Yeah, Usher would win that.
I think you would too. But Akon got some big records.
But Akon's got some big records.
An interesting one I thought of would be T.I. and 2 Chainz.
That'd be a good one. That would be a good one.
It'd be different. No one would expect it.
That would be very good.
Even though probably the blogs and everyone would pick it up and be like, "Oh, T.I.'s winning that one." But 2 Chainz got big records, man.
No, 2 Chainz got some. Yeah, they sleep. That would be a good one because 2 Chainz got some records.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to think who else Usher could go again. I'm trying to think of some old school R&B like Trey Songz and
Trey Songz maybe, but I feel like Usher would be Trey Songz.
No, Usher would kill Trey Songz. I'm talking about Trey Songz versus like Jeremiah maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
That'd be a good match.
I feel like I'd probably go Trey Songz if I had to go against Jeremiah. Though.
I think Jeremiah got some sneaky ones, bro.
He does.
He got some ones people forget about.
Are we including songs he wrote?
I don't see why not. They kind of can include everything in these battles.
That'd be another cool thing to do too. To do like a songwriters battle.
Yeah,
I think they've done that before.
They did do one. They did do one already. They did one with
The Dream and
Javad. What's his name?
Was it Dream and Sean Garrett or was it someone else?
Was it Sean Garrett? I mean, I have.
Or was it Neo and Sean Garrett?
It was Neo and no, it was Neo and somebody else, and a Dream and somebody else.
That Joanne Austin dude or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was Dream and Sean Garrett.
You might be right, then. There was a song right about
it's funny. On one of my old episodes, I referenced that battle, and I butchered it so bad. I ended up saying it was Sean Paul. I said it was Dream versus Sean Paul, and someone was like, it was actually a Rio and Tyler.
Sean Paul and Daddy Yankee, bro.
That'd be cool.
That would be a good one.
But I said it was like Sean Paul and The Dream, and they're like, who's Sean Paul? And I'm like, Sean Paul's the doing you want. I got the right temperature. Like, I got the name and I got the song completely wrong, but I got him right compared to who it was. After I uploaded the episode, I forgot that I even butchered that. So right after I uploaded, I had to upload a video on my phone and be like, listen, don't butcher me. I know who I'm talking about. I just got it. I'm just a fucking dumbass. Instead Sean Paul, instead Sean Garrett.
That's funny as hell.
Okay. I know Neo already did it, but Neo would be a good one against Trey Songz.
That would be, yeah, you're right. That would be a good one against Trey Songz.
I don't think they're trying to like reuse people though.
No, I don't think so. I think they're trying to get new people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, ideally, Kendrick and Cole. That's personally for me. I would like that.
That'd be a good one, honestly. I mean, they're kind of like an easy one.
That's an easy one to pick.
Not easy on like who would win, but easy on like people would want to see that.
Yeah. Which that might happen on down the road if this happens again, but.
I say even after all this kind of blows over, they'll still do verses because that's a very interesting thing to pick up on.
It's honestly I think they should continue it. I'm glad that because it's getting newer people that are like newer into hip hop up or into the culture up on the pioneers because there's a lot of young cats that probably didn't know a lot of that Ludacris stuff.
Probably not. Only because Ludacris was such a big artist when he first came out.
Yeah, and then he kind of fell off. But also back then, his run was, I forgot about it. That first 3 albums was just something else, bro.
Well, also back then, though, music was such region-based.
Yeah.
Where every now and then you had records break out of like whatever area you were in, they kind of blew up that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Also, Too Short, E40, that'd be a good one.
That would be a good one. Good pick. Yeah.
For West Coast.
Yeah, I think, and even with the R&B, like, with Teddy Riley and Babyface, I know for a fact these young people don't know about them too. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of shit is helping newer listeners and newer people to the culture get connected to the people that kind of set the stage.
Mm-hmm. Also, what they could do in the future if they want to kind of like really expand on this, instead of doing artists, they could do albums where you have to pay an album to go against another album.
That will be fire. That's what the podcast I did, they've been doing that. On their own, like they've been like setting up albums and matching them up. So
what's your all-time favorite album?
That is such a hard question for me, bro.
Not for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to really sit down. I have never even ranked my top 10 albums of all time just because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. It's a lot of
Well, with everything going on Facebook, everyone's been nominating people to do like,
I did my 10 challenge. I did that. And that wasn't my top 10 though. That was my I based that off of
influence.
Yeah, so I based that off of like, all right, at this time of my life, what was the album that was influencing me and what kind of set the state? Like I put up Mac Miller, Good AM because that was an album. It came out. That was an album that I listened to literally the entire flight of going to marry Christina. So that whole album it has a memory attached. You know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of like leading, and he had some songs on there that kind of set me in the mood to get into that mood.
Yeah.
But that was what I listened to. So that's kind of how I defined my picks. But yeah, what's your top?
My Beautiful Darkest Fantasy. That's your
best album ever made.
Best album ever made.
Okay. I won't even be mad at that.
I put it as, so, of course it's Kanye, and Kanye is a very controversial topic to begin with.
Yeah, that's true, but that's my dog.
Yeah, especially first 5 albums.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Graduation is probably in my top 5.
Graduation is in my top 5, but it's probably 5. If I had to be real.
I don't know. For me, it's I had to really sit down. It's probably my top 5 though.
Only reason why is because I got into Graduation later than I should have.
Oh yeah, man, my dad stole that CD from me. That's how great it was.
It was good. But the reason I put My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy so high on my list, because if you take rapping ability, song structure, how long it is, it's only like 10 songs.
Yeah,
but it's
a
still
long
like
album.
It's still a long album,
Mm-hmm.
and it just it's just so influential in my
I think.
career.
I think as far as like how an album should be built,
Mhm.
that's like the blueprint.
Like for real, my very first like album I ever made, well not ever made, but my first like real album I ever made was called Hoel, and it stands for Hell of a Life, which comes from Hell of a Life on that album.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I put it in my top 5. I even got a tattoo.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I think that was the first rap album that I've seen literally get perfect scores on every critique.
That's why I also say like All the Lights is probably the best song ever made.
Mm-hmm.
If you put in everything to it.
That song was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That song.
But also, when you talk Kanye to some people, they're kind of like, well, Kanye's really not that good. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I hate when people say that. Like, I hate when people say that.
So, like, my mom...
You cannot like the guy, but like his music is... You cannot like the guy, but his music is, like, perfect in there.
My mom is a perfect example of a Kanye hater. Like, I used to have to defend this guy ever since the whole Taylor Swift thing happened.
I think if you're a Kanye fan, you're always going to have to defend him. I've learned that.
It's gotten harder over the years. It's definitely
gotten hard. It's gotten hard.
So, like, when the Taylor Swift thing happened and he had, like, 808s and Heartbreaks and he had My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I would tell people, man, he's probably the greatest artist that's ever lived. And you were just looking at these antics and being distracted by it. And then he did, like, Iggys. And I'm like, it's not for me. But he's the greatest artist ever lived.
Listen, bro. Yeezus came out the same time Born Center did.
Mm-hmm.
So when Born Center...
I remember the beef that happened.
There was a little like, and J. Cole said he wasn't changing the date. I remember that.
Did they put it out early because of that?
No, they dropped the same day.
No, I thought they put it out early because Kanye was dropping that day and he wanted to drop the same day as Kanye.
I from what I remember, you might be right. It's been a while, but from what I remember was Yeezy announced a date after J. Cole.
And then Matt Miller dropped the same day also.
J. Cole said he ain't changed the date.
Maybe that's what it was.
I think that's what it was.
I know Matt Miller also dropped the same day also.
Yeah.
He was the third super pick.
Yeah. And so I listened to Born Center first. Loved it, which I think that's one of J. Cole's most slept on albums. Anyways, so I listened to that first, and then I went to Yeezus after, and I'm really bad about – I have to adjust my ears. That's what just happened with the New Future, because I have been listening to Larry June for the past, like, 2 weeks. Gotcha. And so I just listened to the New Future, and I was like, damn, this shit ain't hit like I thought. It took me a couple of days. But I'm really bad at having to, like, if I've been listening to something and I, like, am stuck on it and I go to something else where it's not the same, like, what the fuck is this? But that's really what happened with Born Center. Like, I listened to Born, it's smooth. He got the Outkast sample. He got Kendrick. He got TLC on there. Mm-hmm. Then I go to Yeezus and it's, like, screechy and fucking all over the fucking place. And I hate it. I was so mad at Kanye. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, bro, I can't fuck with this shit. So I didn't listen to it for like months, and I ended up buying tickets to go see him.
The Yeezus tour.
That was a Yeezus tour, and I never seen Kanye. That's my favorite. He was my probably top 3 favorite artists ever. So I had never seen him before, and so it was a Yeezus tour. So, and that was when like he had the Jesus thing come out, and like. I was so scared to go to this show. I was like, bro, I think God gonna kill me on the way there. Cause I was like, yo, like he on some crazy shit. Yeah. And so I went, I listened to Yeezus on the way there.
Trying to get in the mood for it?
Yeah, trying to get in the mood. So that's when I was like, okay, it's all right. It's not, when I went to the show, it literally made the album so much better because he laid it out to what the whole idea of it was behind. So after the concert, that's when I liked the album a lot. So it took me having to see his vision in person.
I have a very similar story with The Weeknd, actually.
Oh yeah.
So I went and saw The Weeknd when he did the Beauty Behind the Madness tour.
Yeah.
And that was like his first, like, considered like pop album in a way, because I've had of the success it had.
Yeah.
So I heard the album, liked it. But I was so on the whole, like, I want Dark Weekend.
Yeah.
So I didn't like love it. Well, I ended up getting tickets to see The Weeknd live because Travis Scott was the opening act.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see him perform. I didn't really care that much about The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Actually, Georgie that I just did the debate with, he went with me.
Yeah.
Because we both were such huge Travis Scott fans. Like, Rodeo just came out.
Yeah.
And so we ended up driving to Atlanta. It was, you know who Halsey is?
Yep.
So she was the opening act. Travis Scott, or it was Travis Scott, then Halsey. And I thought that was kind of fucked up. I'm like, who the fuck's Halsey?
Yeah.
And now it's like Halsey's this big pop star.
Yeah, it's huge now.
Yeah. And then Travis Scott was really dope. Young Thug came out.
That's a crazy show.
It was a crazy show. Like, Young Thug came out and performed
For
like
that time,
Mamacita.
because they was early, but all of them were like still coming up.
Yeah, it was. He came out and did like Mamacita, Skyfall.
Yeah.
Rich Homie Quan was there.
Damn. Yeah, that was a great show.
It was a great show. And then at one point we were talking like, man, you just want to leave before The Weeknd goes on, because I was like, and then luckily we didn't, because he came out and the intro on that album, it hits me differently now because it's so hard on the way it comes in with like the sounds, and he had this fire come out, and then the stage ended up lifting up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It gave me like this Michael Jackson feel. Especially he performed Dirty Diana.
Yeah, if I heard him sing listen, Echoes of Silence was I will say I think Thursday is what made me a big Weeknd fan.
Yeah, probably everybody, yeah.
Yeah, Thursday was I like the first mixtape, but that kind of set the stage. But Thursday was like the one that made me a fan. But Echoes of Silence came out, and when he did Dirty Diana, because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and I'm like, listen, if you can't do Michael Jackson right, don't touch none of his shit. And so when he did Dirty Diana, I was like, okay, this guy is like. So if I heard him live do that,
oh man, but the way he did it was so perfect because. You know the song Can't Feel My Face. That's the one that everyone says is very Michael Jackson-esque sound. Well, he found a way to blend them together.
Wow.
And after he did Can't Feel My Face, then I transitioned to Dirty Diana, and he killed it. I have a video of it somewhere on my phone. And so then all the lights came off, or turned off, and then you hear Travis Scott screaming in auto-tune Antidote.
Yeah.
And they ended up performing a remix to Antidote with the Weeknd verse that has not came out. I look for it all the time to see if it's somewhere. He did his own verse to Antidote, and then they ended up doing that one song that was on Travis Scott's second album. That wasn't out yet.
That's dope, man.
It was dope.
So Go ahead. No, I was just gonna add. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh, so he ended up ending the show with the outro to Be Behind the Madness, and then the lights turned off, and everyone's leaving, and then the lights turned back on, and you hear the boom, 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 boom. I left my girl back home. He ended up with that, and I was like, man, Weeknd's probably the greatest artist they ever lived. But concerts do that to you, man.
Yeah, they do. What's the best show you've been to?
It's probably that one, honestly.
Yeah.
If I'm going for arena, probably that one. If I'm going for like personal feel, and like me being there and watching the artists perform, probably Waka Flocka.
Yeah, I've seen Flocka twice.
I have too.
And
both times
I saw him both times in Germany. And the first time he came to Germany, he came to this big club called Europalace. And people was fighting before he even got on stage. Before he even got on the stage, they was already fighting in the crowd. And so he came out, and there was another fight that broke out. And security guards was going like, stop it. He's like, no, let them get that shit out. So like they let him fight for a couple minutes. Yeah. I was like, yo, Flocka now he's totally different. He's not even on that shit no more. But back then, bro, you can't go to a Flocka show without some shit crazy breaking out, bro.
So the first time I saw Waka Flocka, he was on, I think like Flockavelli was about to come out, or maybe it didn't come out yet, or whatever album that was at that time. I can't remember. But like he was still on that like hard in the paint sound, and I think he just did the song with Drake.
Yeah.
So he was still on that like
round of applause.
Yeah, he was still like on that kind of wave, and it was so dope. And the second time I saw him in Chattanooga, it was actually in a smaller venue, and it was actually a Reverie Room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had him there, and he ended up doing a shorter set. He did a bunch of songs I didn't really know, and he just did not seem like he wanted to be there. Honestly,
Yeah, Flocka is he's different now. He's
the
not
first time was great. The second time was kind of whatever. And also the second time, my friend Tanner came with me. He got so drunk that he actually got in a fist fight with a guy in the mosh pit, and I had to break up the fight. So I missed like probably a quarter of the show just dealing with him.
Yeah, I can't. Damn, you go to show somebody too drunk. That shit be killing you, bro.
But it was so funny that it kind of made the show worth it because
So
I remember that more.
Oh yeah. So the best show I've been to is probably I've been blessed to say that I've seen all of my favorite artists live now, except I'm trying to think. Seen Kanye, seen Kendrick, I'm trying to think who I am.
I saw Isaiah when he was in Chattanooga too. That was cool.
I saw Zay first in Germany. Actually, he was opening up for Schoolboy. Okay. That's why I met him. And who else have I seen? I've seen pretty much all of my favorite artists, but my favorite show is not even from my favorite artist. And I'm not still really like a big Jay-Z fan. I respect him. You know what I'm saying? I like what I respect him. He's a legend. But
yeah, of course.
He's so East Coast, and when he was coming up, I was heavy on South shit like 3-6, Wayne. So I wasn't really on Jay until later. But he's probably got the best show live that I've seen, and that was it was him and Timbaland in Europe, and they did the dome. As far as the rating, that's probably the best way. Cool. And man, he not only did he rap everything word for word of his whole set. He had no background, no nothing. It was just him and Timbaland DJing. And Timbaland, I remember he did a break, and Timbaland played what was the song that was coming out with him and Drake? And
Say Something?
No, not Say Something. This is the second Release Therapy that came out. The second one. What is the song? I'm about to look it up right now.
Timbaland and Drake.
Let me find it.
Ooh, I don't know.
He premiered it. And then he made the beat. He remade the beat live. You know what I'm saying? So like he didn't even like. It wasn't like he just was like, this is our new song. Like he started making the beat live, and I was like, is this man making a beat live? Let me see. I'm gonna find it right now. What does it say? What did it say something? Maybe it was Say Something.
Say Something was like, this shit is all I know.
No, dude. Yeah, that was on Shot. Maybe it was then.
I don't know. I don't really remember another song with them together. I know there's another one, but I don't know what time frame you're talking about. It's like him and James.
This was 2000. Yeah, was it Know About Me? That's Know About Me. It might have been that.
Is that the one with James Fauntleroy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay.
And he started making the beat live, and he did the beat live, and then like right at the end, Jay-Z came right back up and did Dirt Off My Shoulder. So he flipped it into Dirt Off My Shoulder. And then so Jay-Z and then after the show, like he just stayed after and was like thanking fans, and like somebody had a sign up and said, "Can I get a picture with Jay-Z?" And he called him up to the stage and had him take it. I'm thinking this is before this is like humongous Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like Magna Carta came out, so he was like already huge. Like he did Sam Stunk deal and all that. And he was like having fans come on. And I was thinking like, I honestly thought Jay-Z was gonna be bougie as fuck. He was just gonna do the show, leave, go through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, especially in the arena, like he wasn't even gonna really like. He was just gonna do and Germany too, because it ain't like he in New York. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he in fucking Atlanta or somewhere. Yeah. Like he in Germany, so it's like they like him, but they
don't know Jay-Z. Like they know Jay-Z.
It ain't hard. It ain't the heart of the shit. Nah, he really did his thing, bro. So that was probably the best live show that I've seen, because he did it all by himself. He didn't really have. I mean, he had the DJ. But he didn't really have like any background, anything like explosions and all that. He didn't have none of that. He just was rocking the stage by side, towel in the back, and that shit was cold. I was like, yeah, he got my respect now.
One of the artists I want to see so bad is Drake, because I've had so many opportunities to see him and they kind of just fall through. Yeah, like I had the opportunity to see him on the Take Care tour, or was it Club Paradise? I think that's the tour.
I saw. Yeah. Club Paradise. That was with Kendrick and A$AP Rocky.
Mm-hmm. And I missed it, which I knew of Kendrick because of I think Compton was out, a song with him and Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay, that's kind of cool. And then I think A$AP Rocky had what was that song he had for? Was it Peso or was it
Peso?
Yeah, I think it was
Swag. It's Peso.
I think Peso was the one I knew him for. Pro Swag probably was that at the time. I just couldn't remember, and I can't remember why I couldn't go, but it fell through last minute. And then I had the opportunity to see him on the Drake versus Lil Wayne tour.
Yeah, that shit was probably live, bro.
I didn't get to go.
I saw Drake on the Thank Me Later tour. He came to Nashville, Vanderbilt. So I saw him on that, and I see him sing live, and I will back him up. He can sing, yeah.
There's an old video of his singing coach when they were working together before like Thank Me Later came out. Like he was trying to get certain like things together, and she said that his singing on the intro, it was I think Fireworks maybe. Is that the intro?
Yeah.
Is that the one he sings on with?
That's Alicia Keys. Yep.
Yeah, he sings on that song too, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think she ended up saying that was some of the best male vocal performance she's ever heard. Yeah,
dog. Listen, Drake can sing. I know a lot of people give him because he kind of stays on the same tone, and which is cool. He shouldn't go outside of his element. If you can sing in that tone, and don't try to sing high, it's not gonna sound good. But I think that I've heard him live, and I was like, okay, he can sing. When he did,
I've never doubted his vocal ability, but I see, and I also know the argument because he definitely does say in that.
He stays in that. Yeah, he stays in that note. But what's funny about that show is Drake was the headliner, but before them it was a band called Phoenix. It was I don't know if you know who that is. They're kind of like alternative rock a little bit. And it was raining, and that was another one of my favorite shows I've seen because I was not expecting this shit to be as live as it was. They had like the dude on the drums had like lights every time they hit. So like when it was raining, you could see like the lights pop up with the rain, and dude ended up climbing on like the lead singer. He ended up climbing on like the side rail and was like singing on the side of that. It was crazy. I was like, yo, who are these guys? So after that, I went and found the album.
It's pretty crazy to think of Drake having an opening act as just some band that probably.
Yeah, I know.
It's probably just his label putting together like, hey, we got this artist named Drake. He's touring. We kind of need him to fill seats.
Yeah,
he's got Jay-Z on his album. So
that is exactly what happened. Now look, it's crazy.
Now he don't even need opening acts. He just
he doesn't need an opening act at all.
No, that's crazy. Well, man, we've been going on for a while. Anything you want to end it on?
Yeah, man, just the podcast, man. Make sure y'all go follow that Iggys Loudmouth podcast. We got the shirts. I got more shirts coming out. But yeah, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. The Anchor FM is where it's hosted. So yeah, make sure y'all go check that out. We got more episodes dropping soon. Guys, we're finally back in the booth, man. Working on some new music too. So I might be hitting you up on that. But other than that, man, just vibing out, man, and yeah, man, just keeping up with that. So that's really it.
Feel you, man. I'm gonna try to hit you back up later, and we'll do an episode in the future. Hopefully, when things get a little better in the outside world.
Yeah, man, and I'll probably have you on mine too. I think I might have you come do a live though.
All right, yeah, we'll make it happen.
So I'll let you know ahead of time with that, but.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
man. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a good little conversation. Good catching up on the hip hop, man. And
yeah, man, no doubt.
I'm glad that the Snitch 9 shit didn't get too crazy.
Yeah, man, it's good to have about talks. A lot of people look at me and think I don't know my shit. But
people was like tripping about that. They was like, "Yo, why would you even debate this shit?" And I'm like, "Bro, listen, he had 2 million views on his IG and has 100 million views on his video. Somebody's listening to this guy, bro. He has fans still. So like,
exactly.
It's okay to like talk about it. I don't fuck with it, but it's obviously a topic that's buzzing right now. So,
well, I tell that all the time. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean someone else don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ain't gotta like everything. You can voice your opinion. I'm all for that.
Yeah,
but don't belittle anybody because they don't like something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, this is CONVO-19. I'll see you later, man.
All right, man.
See you.
Situated.